Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Reggaeton. Let's enter Drezen and take care of a few things. Let's start on the streets.
I'm gone. We should move.
The first thing I'm going to try and do is recruit Greyboar. So I'm going to go over here and sell some stuff. And that's enough.
Weapons, spells, poison.
So recruit Greyboar, we'll speak to the Storyteller,
A shame
then we'll head
one
into the
life
Citadel
is
and
not
manage the
enough
crusade
to
a bit.
master them all.
We'll talk to Char real quick. No Crusader looks anxious and disoriented. Yes? Has something happened? Where did your boy Morveg go? Pain shines in the old man's eyes. His fuzzy gray hair is dirty and hangs down in unkempt strands. He sighs heavily. He ran away. Packed his things in the dead of night and disappeared. Must have gone to find some demons to fight. He is a Khalid. His entire clan are blood enemies of demons. They also worship the god Gorum. Did you see this straw wolf hanging from his neck? It's their clan talisman. It's called the Little Fang. I put in so much effort to get him to see the light of Iomedae, but he imbibed his loyalty to Gorum with his mother's milk. I told him, you can't fight the darkness if you're guided by anger. If rage overwhelms you, you can't. You will either perish or become a villain, or get so used to war that you forget what it's like to live as a human. But he only had one thing on his mind: vengeance. For his family, for his ancestors, for his wounded honor. I tried to find him. They say he's been going to the tavern a lot recently. Everbright Crusaders don't go to taverns. We keep ourselves clean, body and spirit. But Morveg didn't go there to drink or play dice. He was looking for a guide. And he found one. A Khalid too. An old one. A descendant of the Sarkorians. Even the demons couldn't force him out of these lands. They say Morveg wanted to go toward Wintersun, an ancient Sarkorian settlement. I don't know what he wanted there, or where exactly to look for him. There are a lot of demons in that region. I can't send scouts there with an order to leave no stone unturned. There'll be too many skirmishes with monsters and huge losses. The old man looks completely devastated. I want to ask you a few questions about yourself. About me, Char Kobolin? Or me, the glorious Everbright Crusader, the leader of my order? I want to know about your past. The old man scratches his thinning, fuzzy hair. About my life before the order. It was so long ago. As a boy, I decided there was too much evil in the world. Someone had to do something about it. Try to fix it. I decided to become a priest. But then I saw the Everbright Crusaders. So proud, so pure. And then someone next to me said, what arrogant snobs. And he was right. We Everbright Crusaders actually are a little arrogant. So I thought, maybe these invincible snobs could use the help and companionship of such a simple and warm-hearted lad like myself. Who knew that years later, I'd become their leader? Tell me about your order. The Everbright Crusaders are not the oldest order, but our traditions are solid. For us, fighting the world wound is not a war, it's our service. We dedicate our lives to it, and also our souls. We have high standards and live under many restrictions. We have no families, drink no liquor, play no games of chance, accumulate no wealth, and own no lands, even if we were entitled to them by birth. We reject everything that distracts us, that draws us to a peaceful life. For our hearts are always turned to war. The war is a grim, ugly thing that makes wicked everyone who takes part in it. But we keep our hearts pure, so that we are not left sickened by war, so that our light does not fade, because darkness can only be overcome by light. I don't have any more questions. The old man nods. I'm glad I gratified your curiosity. I have to go. Char gives you a bright smile. Of course, Commander. You have a lot to do. May Amade help you. So there are still a couple items I want to buy, but I want to recruit Greyboard first.
Got a job for me, Commander?
Those items aren't going anywhere anytime soon. This dwarf never seems to part with his trusty pipe. He even talks with it still in his mouth, the stem of the pipe clenched firmly between his teeth. You've proven yourself to be a good ally. I'd like to extend our contract.
I'm ready to offer you my services. As you can guess, a full contract will be more expensive than a one-time job. I think 12,500 gold would be a fair price.
The dwarf nods politely. I think if you have 15,000, you can offer him more, right? I think there's a point you'd offer him like 120,000 gold. We'll just do this. I give him 12,500 gold coins. Deal.
From now on, you no longer need to worry about someone making an attempt on your life. If anyone tries, I'll send them straight to their grave.
The dwarf nods matter-of-factly.
I'm off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the option. He wants 12,500, you can offer him 120,000. That helps out a little bit later in his companion quest. Oh yeah, before we speak to the Storyteller, let's level up everybody. So level 2 of Assassin, he gets Uncanny Dodge. The character can react to danger before her senses would normally allow her to do so. She cannot be caught flat-footed, nor does she lose her dexterity bonus to armor class if the attacker is invisible. She still loses her dexterity bonus to armor class if immobilized. A character with this ability can still lose her dexterity bonus to armor class if an opponent successfully uses the feint action against her. If a character already has Uncanny Dodge from a different class, she automatically gains improved Uncanny Dodge instead. And poison use. Assassins specialize in poison use. Each day they can create 6 plus assassin level times 2 doses of special combat poisons, which they can use to envenom their melee weapons. As a move action, an assassin can apply one of the poisons to his melee weapon, and the next successful attack applies it to the target. The save DC of the assassin's poisons is 10 plus his assassin level plus his intelligence modifier. The attack that applies the poison is a sneak attack. The DC is increased by 2. If the target is affected by the assassin's Mark of Death ability, must make 2 saving throws against his poisons and take the worst result. At second level, the assassin gains access to poisons that deal 1d4 stat damage to strength or dexterity for 4 rounds. At third level, the duration of the assassin's poisons increases by 1 round. At fourth level, the assassin gains access to a poison that deals constitution damage. At fifth level, the number of successful saving throws needed to remove the assassin's poisons increases to 2. At 6th level, the duration of the assassin's poisons increases by 1 round. At 7th level, the assassin can apply his poisons as a move or a swift action. At 8th level, the duration of the assassin's poisons increases by 1 round. At 9th level, the number of successful saving throws needed to remove the assassin's poisons increases to 3. At 10th level, the target of the assassin's poison takes 1 round of ability damage from the poison on a successful fortitude save. And cold-minded. An assassin is a soulless, emotionless killing machine. He gains a +2 bonus on saving throws against mind-affecting, compulsion, fear, and emotion effects. At 5th and 8th levels, this bonus increases by 1. Athletics, mobility, stealth, and perception. Outflank. Ursulai. She gets a feat and quarry. So quarry, a character can, as a standard action, denote one target within his line of sight as his quarry. He receives a +2 insight bonus on attack rolls made against his quarry, and all critical threats are automatically confirmed. A character can have no more than one quarry at a time. Mobility, trickery, stealth, knowledge arcana, perception, and knowledge world. We'll do focus shot. The anatomical insight adds deadliness to your shots. Benefit. As a standard action, you may make an attack with a ranged weapon and add your intelligence modifier on the damage roll. You must be within 30 feet of your target to deal this extra damage. Creatures immune to critical hits and sneak attacks are immune to this extra damage. So that's just extra damage based off our intelligence, which is +4. Regil, Hell Knight. So he gets a feat, he gets Force of Will, which we've already seen before. We get to choose a new, was it Fear, Compulsion, and... where's it at? Compulsion, Fear, and Charm. Also gets a new Discipline. Already read that. Alright, Knowledge Arcana, Low Religion. We'll do Improved to Weapon Fighting. You get a second attack with your offhand weapon, albeit at a -5 penalty. And then we want Force of Will Charm next. Fear is irrelevant because there's so many ways to boost your fear saves or have immunity to fear. And then another one for Compulsion. I really like Onslaught, but Regil's not a strength-based Hell Knight. Yeah, let's do Censor. When the Hell Knight uses Smite Chaos on a creature, he can strike the creature mute for 1d4 rounds unless it succeeds a will save. A mute creature cannot speak or cast spells with verbal components. Obrig gets a feat and Shifter Claws. At 11th level, her claw damage increases to 1d8, 1d6 if small. Athletics, Mobility, Lore Nature, and Perception. Point blank shot. That's an odd recommendation. I might do lunge. Raking Claws might be worth it. Your claws cause bleeding wounds. Whenever you deal piercing or slashing damage with your natural weapons, in addition to the damage dealt by the attack, your opponent takes 1d6 points of bleed damage at the start of their turn each round. Bleed damage can be stopped with any magical healing. Yeah, why not? Darren, a feat, and a new revelation. Knowledge Arcana, Knowledge World, Magic Device. And what's that? Extra channel. Let's do Enhanced Cures. Whenever you cast a cure spell, the maximum number of hit points healed is based on your Oracle level, not the limit based on the spell. For example, an 11th level Oracle of Life with this revelation may cast Cure Light Wounds to heal 1d8 plus 11 hit points instead of the normal 1d8 plus 5 maximum. I guess Blessing of Courage and Life. A remove Curse might be worth it. to have on hand. Freedom of movement is also worth it. Summon large elemental. The Winter's Sun will get an item that boosts his summons even further. Alright, Ember gets a feat. Knowledge Arcana, low religion, use magic device, and perception. There was a yeah. Improved Elven immunities. You become even more resistant to enchantment spells, getting an additional +2 bonus on saving throws against them. Additionally, the DC of enchantment spells you cast increases by 1. Let's grab See Invisibility. Let's have another remove curse on hand. Or to remove blindness instead. Did I overlook an enchantment spell? No, just grab Rage. I'll never use it, but it is another enchantment spell. I'll grab Death Ward here. Dominate person. But it's also thematic because it kind of plays into Ember's ability to convince people to stand down or to side with good. Melia gets a feat. Ability, trickery. Weapon focus, rapier. Sure. Doesn't really matter. Feather set mass. Why not? Let me just get rid of that and do another hurricane bow, so we always have it up. Alright, 5 resist energies because there's 5 energies to resist. Oh, Restoration, sure. Doesn't really stand out. Let's give her Stone Skin. And then Bull Strength Mass. We're seeing Communal. Means I don't need True Seeing here. And instead, I Cure Light Wounds Mass. That might come in handy. Alright, done with that. Let's go talk to the Storyteller.
It's time to act!
Oh, loot.
I do what I must.
How long has that been there? How's it going, old chap? The blind elf whispers something under his breath. Hearing your steps, he turns to you slowly. Greetings, Donald. Have you brought me a new story? I want to discuss our encounter in the dragon's lair. I'm sure you do. You're wondering how I ended up there, and why I wasn't killed. Am I right? Why did you go to the tower? I've been looking for a certain tower for several years now, and in that place I had a strange feeling of recognition. It seems that tower once belonged to me a long time ago. Knowing my habits, I assume that some records or other items that could answer the questions about my past have remained in my home. Unfortunately, I realized too late that the tower was now the lair of a monster. I don't know where I saw has at. I guess was. How come the dragon didn't eat you? Despite their beastly tempers, dragons are clever creatures, but their way of life does not lend itself to civilized conversation, which is why they do sometimes enjoy a good chat. And even more, a good story. That was what saved me. I had to share a few of my stories with the dragon, hoping to win her over, or at least distract her. Did you find anything of value in the tower? The storyteller nods politely. Yes, thanks to you. The dragon didn't have time to burn everything. I found the memories of my previous life, which I'd forgotten long ago. Now everything is clear. Once again, please accept my gratitude for the miraculous rescue. I hope I never again have cause to meet a creature as voracious as that dragon. Alright, so please examine the items I'm carrying. Perhaps some of them could tell us a story. The storyteller nods politely. Let me touch them, and I'll tell you what I can see. Now it is just a shard of the past, but I feel its power. The elf carefully strokes Tyrandalev's claw. Only a great power can resist the most terrifying of enemies, oneself. Please, allow me to immerse myself in this memory, and learn the story of the spiritual resurrection of the greatest of silver dragons. A fragment of a ring appears in the old man's hand. What a powerful item. This ring was created by an inquisitive and free mind. As a rule, such people either become geniuses and creators of a new era, or meet tragic ends. What was the fate of the creator of this object? We can find out together. Give me 4 vials of magic essence and 2 bars of cold iron, and I will reforge this ring. The old elf gently touches the crumpled metal of the gauntlets. I sense the souls of the 2 who were bound to this relic. One was an animal, the other a man, but neither was the master of the other. They were brothers. A most intriguing tale. You want to hear it. You bring me 1 vial of magic essence, 4 bars of cold iron, and 2 vials of demon blood. I think we only have 1 of those. I can revive this relic and see into its past. The elf looks at you with unusual impatience. Shall we? Alright, show a piece of Tyrandalev's claw. Tell me Tyrandalev's story to the end. The storyteller hangs his head, looking sickly and tired. How many times has the moon died and been reborn since I've been here? I have lost count. My friends brought me here. They said goodbye to me, like always. They looked at me like it was the last time they'd see me. Cowards, insidious spawn. They were glad I was going to die. But I'll show them. Tyrandalev will live. A new Tyrandalev, whose eyes are finally open. I hear the rustling of wings and I emerge from the cave where I imprisoned myself. Who is it? A friend? An enemy? Sunbeams reflect off his scales as he hovers before me surrounded by a glowing halo. The gold dragon, Halasiliax. Or Halasiliax. We call him Hal. Part of me wants to fly to him and make a circle of honor around him, as any good student should. But the part of me that turned my scales black is ready to seize his gleaming throat. How dare he fly here, flaunting his purity and innocence? He wants to humiliate me, drag me through the mud. But I will show him. No, what am I thinking? My mentor has come all this way to save me, I know. He would never abandon me. Someone called him to my aid. Moving heavily, I take flight to greet him, but my body, controlled by the foulness, straightens like an arrow. His vulnerable throat is so close. One strike, and I will destroy you, Halasiliax. What happened next? Did Halasiliax survive? I don't know. I know the place where Tyrandalev was believed to have sought refuge for a tarnished soul. I saw Sarkorian ruins, a wide branching tree next to them. Perhaps there'll be something there that will shed some light on the fate of a mentor and student. Something that can tell us how Tyrandalev's strength of spirit helped her to ultimately overcome the foulness within her. Can you say anything about Tyrandalev's future? The storyteller frowns. It's so strange that you should ask. We all know what happened to Tyrandalev, but sometimes it seems I hear her voice in the visions. Her voice, full of pain and despair, as if she is in darkness which she cannot escape. I cannot solve the mystery of this vision, but it worries me. I thank you for this story, Storyteller. The Storyteller answers, bowing slightly. And thank you, Donald. Give the Storyteller the ring fragment and the necessary materials. Restore this relic for me. The Storyteller sets the ring fragment in the bars of metal in his open palm, on his open palm. He clenches his fist, crumpling the metal like paper, and pours essence from the vials over it. You feel terrible heat rising from the elf's hand. When he opens his fingers, you see a beautiful ring. A remarkable object this. It was created by a talented spellcaster, is able to summon beings from other planes, as if the boundaries set by Pharasma do not exist for it. It is a powerful and dangerous item, but it was created by an honorable person. That is probably why it was not used at the crucial hour. There is quiet sadness in the Storyteller's voice. We got the Ring of Summons. We'll talk to him about his elven pages later. Yeah, quite the story. But a really good item nonetheless. As soon as you touch the relic, a vision comes over you. You witness the events as if you lived through them yourself. Together, we can put an end to the tyrannical rule over us. Let them accept us and see us as people. Or if they try to subdue us by force, as before, let them prepare to feel our pushback. We'll force them to overturn their meaningless, superstitious ban on arcane magic. We'll make them see us as people, not as evil witches. We'll destroy the cursed prison of Threshold, and set free the innocents within, doomed to wretched and unjust imprisonment. We'll save Sarkoris, but only together. I therefore urge anyone and everyone for whom freedom is worth rebelling and fighting for, join our alliance. Your brother in magic, Open. Or Opon. Another letter is ready. I seal it with wax and leave the imprint of my signet ring on the soft scarlet substance. There's no need to hide when reaching out to comrades. My fingers cramp up, tired of holding the quill that has rewritten, over and over, the same letter for what seems like the 100th time this morning. Clearly, I need a break. I twist the ring of summoning on my finger, and a proud bird appears before me, its feathers gleaming with gold. The summoned bird waits patiently, while I tie the letter to its leg, then it flies out the window. Yet another messenger dispatched. This bird, like so many others, will fly over our course to find a fellow practitioner of the arcane arts. Together, we can bring about a revolution. We simply must unite our efforts. It is time to change our country, to overthrow the dictatorship oppressing us, to cast off the terror that has enveloped us, stop the ruthless hunting of innocence. I leave my study and look into the guest room. The poor souls are sound asleep. A boy and a girl, both spellcasters, outlaws, and criminals like me. They're on the run for 3 months until I offer them shelter here. They'll be hungry when they wake up. I need to get some bread and dried fish. And outside, spring awaits. The smell of flowers creeps in to tickle my nose playfully. The sun smiles, eager to embrace me with its light. And the soft wind slightly kisses my cheeks, whispering in my ear. It's going to be all right. Winter is behind us, and the glorious, well-fed, and hard-working city of Eyes welcomes spring. I love my city. I love the people who live here. Nowhere else have I met such selfless and heartfelt people, capable of coming to the neighbor's aid, of welcoming a stranger into their home and seating him by the hearth. They're the best people in the whole world, until they get scared. Oh my good eyes, how can you be so indifferent to the injustice reigning in Sarkoris? I'm getting emotional. Truly, my heart is soft and urges of rebellion only uneasily find a home within me. I see a girl sitting in an alleyway, shedding tears over her broken doll. I pass by her and glance back cautiously. She's sitting alone, no one else is around. The mark of a cartwheel scars her doll's mangled torso. It is beyond repair. I approach the girl carefully, take a seat, and smile at the child. She looks at me warily, but without fear. I look around again. Still, no one is nearby. All right. I turn the signet on my finger, and the air above the sidewalk twists into the form of a tiny man made of whirlwinds. The garbage around him flies up in the air as the magic man starts moving, bowing dramatically, and grabs a doll and dances with it. The tears on the girl's cheeks dry instantly, replaced with laughter and joy. Then I hurry away. The tiny elemental will give the little one another minute or two of happiness, and then it will fade away. My act of kindness was a stupid risk, but that's what we're fighting for freedom, for children's laughter, for the feeling in our hearts that we've done everything right and in good conscience. Rumble and a noise. The voices are loud and unkind, so scary that my dream dissolves instantly, scurrying away like a frightened animal. Stopping on the stairs, fist drumming on the door. I know these sounds. It's the sound of a night arrest, the sound of people entering a home to drag away an innocent into the night. I run to the next room, growling. We're leaving, but it's too late. The door swings open, and behind it there's a man with a huge black wolf at his feet. So the gauntlets we found. The storyteller mentioned that there is a man and his animal companion. So all these relics are tied together. That's it. I think it's a really cool detail. Sea Tree Devimai, suppressor of the voices of freedom. The scum who suffocated his own conscience while I was still in the crib. The lad I took in throws himself at the brute, yelling, "Run, sir, open." A brave kid indeed, but where can I run? Torches and spears flank the windows, while the Soul Taker and his henchmen bar the door. They stand there, swords drawn, demanding my surrender. The boy is already crumpled up and lying in the corner, bent in half from the blow that scoundrel Sea Tree's fist. The wolf snarls, foam dripping from its maw. Surrender. Fat chance, you scum. I never make it out of here alive, but they'll not soon forget Sir Open. I turn the signet on my finger, ready to set a dozen Soul Eaters loose. Yet, I pause as a familiar face flashes in the doorway. A crying girl next to a pale man and woman, surely her parents. They brought her to identify me, ensure that I wouldn't escape the hunt through some trickery. What scoundrels? I will what? What can I do? My beloved eye stretches out before my eyes. How many houses are there around me? How many families? How many people are sleeping in their beds right now? They are kind people, albeit unfairly cruel to us. Are you willing to bring monsters down on your city, Open? On your neighbors? Would you watch them die screaming and choking, fighting for breath? Would you watch your monsters rip the very souls out of their children? You have so much hate in you, Open. Are you really a malevolent witch, a monster, as they claim? I am shaken, as if someone has walked in my grave. I stand there, shivering, afraid of myself as time slips away. The black wolf leaps forward, his teeth sinking into my hand. My fingers, bitten off entirely, disappear down his throat, while the ring of summoning groans, crushed by horrific jaws. I throw myself on the floor and roll around, screaming and thrashing about, as if it helps. The brutes drag me to my feet and punch me in the stomach. My hand hurts as if the darn wolf were still chewing on it. For all my hopes and good intentions, this is my fate. This ring grants the wearer an ability to summon either Axiomites or Soul Eaters, randomly selected once per day, as if they were summoned by a Summon Monster 8 spell, cast level 15, DC 22. All allies, including the wearer within 30 feet, gain a +2 bonus to weapon damage rolls, and a +2 bonus on saving throws against attacks made or effects created by chaotic creatures. So the summons are great, and that secondary effect is also really, really good. I'm probably going to give that to Social. Yeah, we don't need immunity to bleed. I can sell that rod too. Alright, read that already? I found a page that might interest you. The storyteller carefully takes your find. Yes, you were right. Another piece of evidence from the past I have forgotten. The old elf's expression becomes withdrawn. Thank you. If you find more pages like this, please bring them to me. Maybe by putting them together, I'll be able to lift the veil on the mystery surrounding my story. So every few, we'll get more of his story. There we go. The storyteller clenches the pages you brought. His voice becomes a bit younger and more energetic. So I may have touched on this before. I don't like that they fleshed out the storyteller's story. I liked him being just a mysterious NPC that showed up on all the players' adventures at all the Owlcat games. You know, it's like a benevolent... He does help you out in Kingmaker. He's not completely passive. They should have kept him mysterious. I think fleshing out a story actually detracts from his story. My hand touches the stone wall. Cold pierces my palm like the teeth of a hungry dog sinking into a piece of meat. I don't take my hand away. I let the stone enjoy my warmth in return for its service. It accepts my caress and my unasked questions. The one that's been asked thousands upon thousands of times. Where should I go next? Behind me I hear the loud stomping of the minotaurs that guard this god's forsaken place. I tricked and outwitted them, leaving only a trace of my presence. There's darkness lurking up ahead, honing its swords, claws, and teeth, in the hope that a rare traveler visits its lair. But today it will get no one. This labyrinth is alive. Its red-veined stone walls resemble the guts of a huge creature. If you keep still and listen closely, you can hear it breathing in the wind that sweeps through this place. Now where do I go from here? Forward. To the place whence the wind carried a faint chuckle. Whence comes the faint smell of ash. Whence a few ages ago, even Lord Baphomet began his great escape. Baphomet, are you inside his labyrinth? Yes, I'm traveling through the Ivory Labyrinth. This is not the most pleasant of my journeys, but it is necessary to reach my goal. How were you able to evade all the dangers of the Ivory Labyrinth? The Storyteller raises his chin proudly. Have you forgotten who you are speaking to? I'm the last Archmage of Kionin. I've been to many dangerous places, and this is just one of many. Of the many. It won't be the last. What do you need from the Ivory Labyrinth? An answer to a question, a key to a secret. Knowledge that can save many lives. A sliver of a smile appears on the Storyteller's lips. My kinfolk were weaklings and cowards. They ran from danger, but one stood up to my enemy. And Baphomet will give me the weapon to win. Please continue. For several years, I've thought about how to defeat Earthfall. My enemy has no flesh, and is impossible to kill. It blazes through everything in its path. It doesn't enslave, but destroys life itself. And I found the answer. I know how to save my world. Earthfall came to destroy Golarion. Its strike was brutal, and my world barely withstood it. What if Earthfall was resisted by not one world, but several worlds at once? What if Heaven or Elysium come to help the dying Golarion? If I manage to merge my world with another one, meld them together, the power of the disaster will weaken. The denizens of Golarion will be able to temporarily take shelter in the adjacent plane. Civilizations will not die. Our culture will continue to exist, will not be forgotten. So, the world wound is also the merging of two planes. Keep that in mind. A Baphomet, the cunning and insidious lord of Minotaurs, was once a captive in Asmodeus' prison. Only 10 years passed before Baphomet was able to escape, taking his own prison with him, which later became the Ivory Labyrinth. Such an achievement deserves respect, and it is the goal of my research. Moving matter between planes is what interests me now. I stop near strange symbols covering the wall of the labyrinth. I run my hand over them to ensure they are real. Encrypted riddles drawn by Baphomet during his imprisonment. I take out the bark-covered notebook and painstakingly copy the symbols into it. Behind me, two minotaurs are fighting, deceived by the net of spells I have wrapped around myself like a blanket. You want to connect the planes. That's dangerous. The elf is silent for a moment. When he talks, there's disdain in his voice. Dangerous, difficult, almost impossible. But tell me, is this risk not worth the Thassalan Empire perishing before my eyes? Does Golgon, the Cyclops Kingdom, deserve death? What about the Aboleth Empire? The Storyteller moves his lips silently. Another plane will pay for saving Golarion. There will be wars, and then a new world will come. But we will survive. We will defeat Earthfall, and history will not condemn the victors. A bark-covered notebook, the one your mentor gave you. The Storyteller lowers his head, and a moment later jerks it back up. Yes, blinded by my pride, I tore it to pieces when I thought I would not follow my kinfolk. I'm still not going to run, but the knowledge written in this notebook by my former mentor I serve my purpose. The elves managed to open a portal to Sovirian. They keep it open until all our people escape from Galarian. Their cowardice deserves disdain, but their knowledge is unquestionable. I return to Kyonin and gather the pieces of my torn notebook. Now it is my sword aimed at the heart of Earthfall. By combining the wisdom of elves and the cunning of Baphomet, I will save the world. What happened next? I copied the strange symbols into the notebook. I haven't the slightest idea what these scribbles mean. What was the future Demon Lord thinking when he wrote them, while he was imprisoned in his cell with no way out? Was he still in his right mind? I'll need help to understand these notes. Otherwise, decrypting them might take more time than Pharasma has given me. One of the Minotaurs behind me killed the other one, tore his heart out, and devoured it. His bloodstained nose sniffs the air sharply. His bloodshot eyes shift from wall to wall. He senses a stranger, but it doesn't scare me. I'm certain of my powers and the spells hiding me. I've done my work and can now leave this place. And still I linger. What is this strange presence I feel behind me? Like someone is watching me, despite all the protective spells. Who are you? I ask carefully, not hoping for an answer. Darkness. A coy female voice whispers in my ear. Against my will, I shudder. The storyteller stops talking for a long while. The vision ended at the most interesting moment, didn't it? He says bitterly at last. Please, find the rest of the pages from this bark-covered book. I must know what happened next. I'm just doing this to gray out the text. Alright, we're all done with that. Well, it took a bit longer than anticipated. It usually does. So next time we'll go into the Citadel, manage the Crusade. We have a couple of our advisors to meet. We did logistics and another one. So we'll meet Durga Linda. And one of the other advisors. It might be, oh, what's her face? The, Kitsune. I remember her name, but I'm not going to do the courtesy of actually saying it, because she sucks. I'm going to call it here. Next time we'll take care of that. But for now, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.